So is your child growing right or just growing? So this is talking about jaw development. Okay, so normally our jaws can grow forward or down. And the more our jaws grow forward, the more room we have for all of our teeth. The more they grow down, the more likely we're to have crowded teeth or a smaller airway space. So Dr. John Mew showed in the 1950s how someone's jaw growth can be going forward, but over the years, this is a younger boy who his jaws kind of started growing down and back. You can see his lower jaw kind of rolling back over the time. There's a whole host of systemic sleeping issues, breathing issues that can be correlated with different types of, breathing and jaw structure. So the more our jaw's fully developed, the better we're gonna breathe and the better we will sleep, and it'll have kind of a lot of positive health effects. So these are two different airways. The purple zone is the airway zone. On the right is someone who had full developed jaws, wisdom teeth fully in, lots of breathing space. On the one on the left, wisdom teeth were impacted, they had to get pulled, there was not optimal forward jaw development, and you can see the purple zone is very small. So guess which one, so just point, which one probably has more sleeping and breathing issues? Yeah. This is a child that came in, the RDI right there on the top left is respiratory distress index, was at 13. At the end of treatment, he was at a 1. So this really, really helped, and he did not have crowded teeth at all, but his jaws were not optimally developed forward. This is a panoramic x-ray, so we see right here, where the second molar is those of us who are adults, that's where our wisdom teeth were impacted and had to get removed. Now, the wisdom teeth are coming up halfway up the side of the lower jaw because the jaw's not growing which direction?
Out.
Forward. And so kids, now the second molar is where, people in their 40s and 50s, where their wisdom teeth were impacted and taken out, and now we're seeing kids with second molars, and the wisdom teeth up in the back are pointing backwards, so there's no crowding in the front, but these teeth are crowded up in the bone, and there's not going to be room for them to come in. You're not going to see that till later here. So 100 years ago, nobody had crowded teeth. It did not exist. Nobody had impacted wisdom teeth. Behind the last wisdom tooth, you can see there's 10 millimeters of space. There used to be room for a fourth wisdom tooth. Go ahead. So our jaws primarily develop at the younger ages. 2, 4, 75% of our jaws are developed by age 4. And there's a lot of reasons this is happening, and we can talk about the sugar. So this patient I saw when they were like 5 or 6 or something, and I said, your kids headed toward crowded teeth, we should develop their jaws. And like, well, there's no crowding, they're doing fine. And then 2 years later, they were at their dentist, and they said, oh my goodness, you've got major crowding, you've got to see the orthodontist. They go to the orthodontist, the orthodontist says, oh my goodness, this is gonna be really bad. We've got to pull 6 baby teeth right now, and then in 6 months, we've got to pull 2 permanent teeth because this child's mouth is too small and there's not room for the teeth to come in. So right here, what they're concerned about is those canines pushing in on the roots of those lateral incisors. So you see right there? So the orthodontist is like, oh my goodness, we don't want those canines to push those permanent front teeth out. How many permanent front teeth do you want, 4 or 6? For your child? 6, right? So we want to grow the smile. So pulling teeth doesn't help create more bone, but it can lead to a smaller mouth. Go ahead. So we developed her out. You can see her canine coming in just fine. Plenty of space for that canine to come in. We did not extract any teeth. Go ahead. Okay, so here's a 2-year-old stopping breathing at night, waking up repeatedly throughout the night. You can see that tongue space. When the mouth is small, the tongue doesn't have room. There's more likely to be chewing with the mouth open, mouth breathing. So where's this tongue gonna go? So this little girl is stopping breathing at night, and at age 2, we put her on appliance, we get her upper jaws growing, so she starts to get space between her teeth instead of having crowded teeth. And she goes from crowded baby teeth, which was unheard of, 20 or 30 years ago, but is more and more common now, to starting to get some room for her permanent teeth coming in. So this is her bite. So now she's got room to close her mouth, and her tongue is okay. Whereas before, if she closes her mouth, which way does the tongue go? back. So which way do we want the jaws to grow? So here she is, not sleeping too well here, sleeping really good. Here's another one, age 2.5. Upper jaw in a downward growth direction at age 2. Lower jaw's trapped back. It cannot grow forward. We put a removable appliance in, help that upper jaw grow up and forward, create room for the permanent teeth so there's not going to be crowding later, but also improving the airways. So she went from waking up praying twice a night to sleeping through the night. And you see the lower jaw rolling back to jaws in a more forward growth pattern. Go ahead. So here's a 4-year-old, similar thing, no room for the permanent teeth. Lower jaw, he's closing. He could bite fully if he pulls his jaw back. But sometimes these little kids feel like I'm trying to suffocate them when all I'm trying to do is get a decent photo. So I let him get away with it. But, okay, go ahead. So here we are, we developed him out. So now he's got plenty of room for his permanent teeth to come in later. His jaws are growing forward. He can close down. He's comfortable. He can breathe through his nose. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. So there's his jaw's downward growth pattern to a forward growth pattern. So here's another one. Upper jaw, downward growth pattern. Lower jaw, trap back. This kind of deep bite is high risk for TMJ, but lots of crowding there. Go ahead. Go ahead. So we create a lot of space, make room for all of his teeth, get his jaws going forward. Here's another one. On the x-ray, you'll see right here, so the canines are blocked out, wisdom teeth pointing backwards. Here's a wisdom tooth back, but these two canines generally don't have room to come in. The conventional thing is take out permanent premolars. Has anyone heard of that being done before? Okay, some people. So, but yeah, here's another one. So this one, the orthodontist said 3 years in braces. You're gonna see the oral surgeon go under general anesthesia to get that. There's a tooth blocked out in there. You go to the next x-ray. So there's a baby tooth that got trapped and a permanent tooth trapped below that. So 3 years of braces, oral surgery to get those teeth pulled, put a bracket on, pull it in. We put one of our airway appliances on. 4 months later, we just wiggled out the baby tooth easily, and the permanent tooth came in just fine on its own. And she was in our airway appliance for 4 months. She did not want braces. They were very happy with her teeth. That spacing will kind of settle together, but she could do a little Invisalign if she wanted. Go ahead. Here's one that was told the lower jaw is too far back. This girl's gonna need jaw surgery to get her jaws forward. You can see how far back it is. And we treated her and her jaws, we developed her jaws what direction? Forward. Go ahead. So you can see the lower jaw is set back a little bit more, and we developed both of her jaws forward. And initially it was like the upper jaw was too far forward. The standard thing done is take out some top permanent premolars and pull the upper jaw back to match the lower. But with the Airway Center, we developed the lower forward to match the upper. Go ahead. And there she is. So here's our airway appliance. Go ahead. And here's a couple QR codes. There's a little sleep questionnaire. And next one. There's our digital brochure, which this is on the back of all those little trifolds that you guys have. And on our website, you can find a dentist. So there's a dentist up in Silverton who does this, but I train other dentists. So if anybody's interested in this, we can share more information. We have dental trainings that we can share. You can share with your dentist. If you're on good terms with your dentist and you like them and they may be open, we'd love to connect them so they could help you with your kids and other kids. So thank you so much.